welcome to a brand new episode of All About a Fursuiter, the series where we interview furries, get to know a little bit more about the furry fandom, one furry at a time. Yes. So in today's video, we are going to be interviewing Chibi The Floof. And as always, we will ask him 5 questions. And without further ado, let's get into it. Woo! On to the first question now, and that is, how did you find the furry fandom?
Excuse me. Sometimes that voice just comes out. Hello everybody, my name is Chibi The Floof. You may have seen me on TikTok. I'm a content creator and I love to make fursuit videos, fursuit stuff, and fursuit content. I joined the fandom all the way back in 2014 thanks to an acquaintance of mine, an old friend of mine that I had back in the day, who introduced me to fursuits and stuff. At the time, I was super big into anthropomorphic animals, but I had no idea that there was a huge fan base dedicated to that. So I started dabbling in it and became a full-fledged furry in 2014.
First off, I think that intro was absolutely adorable that you gave. Thank you so much for that, Chibi. And also, I think that is really cool. You've been in the fandom since 2014. I absolutely love that, man. I think that is really cool. I've joined it since 2017, and I still love the fandom and all that it's bringing. And I think that is really cool, the stories that you've seen. I love that. Really cool. Yes. In at number 2 now, and that is, to someone who is new to finding themselves as transgender, what are some tips or advice that you could give them?
So I discovered myself as trans way back in 2019. One of the things that I learned about myself when it became to becoming trans is that you kind of have to experiment with yourself a little bit. What I mean by that is that you kind of have to look at yourself as a whole. Like, oh, do you like wearing more girly stuff than you do boy stuff when you're a guy? Or when you're a girl, like I was, where you liked wearing more guy-related stuff and more masculine-related stuff growing up instead of the alternative, you know? It's more of experimenting with yourself in terms of gender, like, do I feel more comfortable being this than I do feeling the alternative? You know, it just takes a bit of experimenting with yourself as a person, and there's no right way to do it, in my opinion. Just take your time, learn on your own terms, don't take what other people say for granted and stuff, like, meaning don't always go with what other people tell you to do. Go with what your gut feeling says, because for years I'd always been thinking I was a tomboy, when in reality I was always trans, I just didn't know it yet. So it took a little bit of experimenting through the years to really understand and feel comfortable with me being trans.
You know, I think that is really wise advice. I actually didn't even think about it that way either. I think that is really wise, and I love everything that you gave there, man. I love that, and that is really cool. I think that is awesome. I really think that's awesome. Seriously, man. I love it. In at number 3 now, and that is, how has your experience been like being transgender and non-binary in the furry fandom?
My experience being trans and non-binary in the fandom has been a little mixed sometimes. Again, I've been a furry since 2014, so I'm a bit of one of the older gen furs, and one of the things that I always got backlash for was actually more inside my family than it was inside the fandom, but that's like personal things to get through. If you're able to get through those, then most of the people in the fandom are extremely kind, they're very open, and they're extremely accepting of a lot of people, especially if you find the right group of people. One of the things I personally like to do is I like to create parties for trans individuals to feel safe and comfortable, because we get a really bad reputation of being in a very bad spot in terms of safety. So I always like to give that safe spot for trans individuals who need it.
I absolutely love the idea of the parties for trans people doing that. That is absolutely amazing, and making safe spaces for them. I think that is absolutely amazing, man, and I think that is so cool what you're doing. That's awesome. I absolutely love every bit of that. So amazing. Yes. And that's number 4 now. Number 4. Whoa. How did you come up with your persona, Chibi?
So Chibi is a fennec fox / gray wolf mix, and he originally used to be a Arctic wolf mix way back in 2014 when I started dabbling with characters and stuff. In 2015, I actually came up with a character from the game Animal Jam. And when I started playing Animal Jam in 2015, I started becoming even more of a bigger furry. I discovered myself being a furry in 2014, but became really invested in the fandom in 2015. And during Animal Jam, when I was playing on my computer most of those days, I discovered one of the characters being an Arctic wolf, and I loved customizing with the character so much that I came up with my first character, which was Chibi. The Chibi name comes from my username back then, which was Chibi Toy Bonnie. I don't remember what I think it was 03 was the last number of the line, but everybody started calling me Chibi all the time, and I was like, I actually really like that name, so I stuck with it for years, and it fit me to a T because the word chibi in Japanese means cute and small, which is exactly what I am. I'm very small, and I'm very, very cute to a lot of people. So I loved doing that, and over the years, he has had a lot of changes to him. He used to be a girl, turned into trans, and then became a guy, and he basically is me to a T, and a lot of people like to make true sonas. I personally believe Chibi is my truest sona, in my honest opinion.
You know, I think that is really awesome how you found Chibi and just how that all worked out. And I think that is really awesome. I love that. Yes. And now, on to the fifth and final question now. And that is, what are some positive things about the furry fandom that keep you going?
One of the things I love most about this fandom is the creativity everybody has, especially with like fursuits, art, the different types of apparel we have, the different type of costumes people think of, characters. Like, there's a whole myriad of different inspirations out there if you look hard enough. And that's one of the things that has kept me going in this fandom long enough, is the amount of creativity that comes from it. Because I remember all the way back in 2019 when me and my dad went to MFF 2019, and we went into the dealer's den, and it was one of his first major cons that he had been a part of, and he was one of my main inspirations. He unfortunately passed way back in 2021 due to COVID complications, so he was my biggest supporter. And when he went to the dealer's den with me and saw all these different type of creations, he was floored. And it's one of my favorite type of things to see in the fandom, is people getting more and more like inspired by the different creations that we have, the different inspirations and different like creativity that we can create. It's one of my favorite things in the fandom, and it really keeps me going as a creator myself, because I'm still trying my best to become an artist my own self. And it's been a tough journey, but it's been fun being able to dabble with different things and different people all the time.
You know, I will admit the creativity of the fandom is absolutely phenomenal. There's so many creative things out there, so many creative people out there, and there's just so much amazing stuff that the creative fandom just keeps making, and I absolutely love seeing it. I think that is really cool. I absolutely love just what the fandom will bring the next day, and it's just amazing to see. I love it. Yes.
I just want to say a big thank you to Benji for allowing me to be on his series. This is the first time anyone has ever actually interviewed me in the fandom, and being an OG fur of this fandom, I love giving my experiences and stuff and helping other furs be a little bit more inspired to do more, like even if it's just content creation, making videos, pictures, creating suits, art, whatever it may be. Please go ahead and do it, and be the best you can be, because there's only one you in this universe, and nobody else is going to change that but you. So
Oh, thank you so much, Chibi. That really means a lot coming from you. You are an amazing content creator. You do amazing work, and you're an amazing person. And as you said, only you can do what you want to do and achieve. There's only one you in this universe, as he says. And I absolutely love that. I also want to give a huge thanks to Chibi for being on today's interview. Seriously amazing to have you, man. Seriously awesome. As always, I will leave all of his links in the description down below. Be sure to check him out. He does amazing content, amazing art. So yes. As always, if y'all enjoyed this, give this a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. But as always, I bid y'all a good farewell.
Greetings chosen.